Welcome to Daily 5 for Tuesday, September 19th, 2023. I think I mentioned either in a 5 or on the show that I had started playing a game from 6 years ago, 2017, titled Prey. Now, I started playing this because I saw a series of really great retrospectives on the System Shock series on a YouTube channel called The Nth Review. And in fact, I started supporting that individual on Patreon because these retrospectives were really great. And so I started playing Prey because this person said that essentially Prey was the System Shock 3 sequel that never really materialized. There's been talk of one, but it's never really come out. And I've been playing the System Shock remake or remaster, whatever they call. No, I think it's called a remake. That was released on Steam. I had backed that on Kickstarter, and it's fantastic. And so I thought, okay, I remembered hearing really bad things about Prey, and apparently that was somewhat common, that it did not review very well. But I watched some of the Prey video on the Nth Review, and I stopped before I got to the story spoilers, and I thought, okay, I'm going to give this a shot. And I have just been having an absolute blast with it. It is a really great game. And it's funny, I guess, in that review, the hypothesis is that people just didn't give it enough of a chance. They got to a certain point and just gave up on it, which is weird around the 5 to 10 hour mark, which I don't know what wall they would have hit into, these reviewers, that would make them stop playing. Because the first 30, 40 minutes, I think you're going to know if you like the game or not. And I don't know why you'd keep playing past that point if you didn't enjoy the mechanics of the game. It's a really great, both open yet contained immersive sim where essentially you are put on a space station and you are trying to piece together what's happened because you don't have any memory. Pretty common video game trope. But within that station and its immediate solar shield, for all intents and purposes outside, you can approach the objectives in any order you want. For the most part, I think there's a couple of time quests, maybe 3, 4 tops. Otherwise, you are free to pursue objectives in any way you want. You can explore all the different areas of the station almost immediately. I mean, pretty quickly. There isn't anything that's gated off or sealed for any type of story progression outside of some of the narrative plot points. You have to proceed to a certain point before you start getting some information. But as far as the actual environment and what you can do in it, you really don't, as far as I could tell. There was never a point where I felt like the game was telling me I couldn't go somewhere, or if it was, that there wasn't a way to circumvent whatever that barrier was. For example, there was a part where I wanted to go outside the station for an objective. I did that, and then I thought, well, I'm out here. Why don't I just explore the outside of the station? And I think I spent another 2 or 3 hours just flying around the station. Now, had I known that later in the game, just as a little tip for anybody who might play it, you will get a booster that makes you accelerate a lot faster because it won't take you as long then. But I didn't know that. I was just thinking, okay, I'm out here. Do I really have the freedom to just do whatever I want? With obviously I knew I wasn't going to be able to fly back to the planet Earth or anything, or the moon, but I was curious, and sure enough, the game never restricted me to the point where I found a pretty high-level weapon, I think far earlier than the natural progression of the game would have led me to. But the game never penalized me. It never stopped me. I was able to use that weapon. In fact, it's great that I found it as early as I did. And the game just said, okay, that's fine. You went and explored and you found this thing. Keep going. And at no point did I feel like I was ahead of the game. And again, I didn't feel like the game was unnecessarily slowing me down. So I really cannot talk highly enough about this game. I thought it was, and the fact that I slept on it for this long, based on some reviews that I would say were misguided to say, I mean, look, not every game is for everybody. So some of them probably sincerely just didn't enjoy the game because maybe they didn't like immersive sims. And if you want to know what an immersive sim is, go watch some Nth Review definitions of it on the video series, or something like Deus Ex or something like Thief, where basically you are put in a place and given a wide array of options to be able to approach solving the problems the game presents in whatever way you want, with really no guiding hand. Just here's what you can do, go forth and do things. And I just, because one of the things I've talked about is I like finding the seams of games and seeing what I can break in them. And Prey really just kept flexing for all the things I did. One time, I managed to break the physics where I had to reset the game. One time in probably about 34 or 35 hours. That's pretty good. So again, Prey 2017, it's dirt cheap now if you never played it. And if you missed out on it, give it a chance. It's a great game. Later.